Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. News you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work. Welcome to Caribbean American News Media State of the Nation with Garfield Oliver. The news you report. Let's get to work.
Welcome to the Caribbean American News Media Show, your premier destination for in-depth coverage, engaging discussions, and entertaining segments showcasing the rich tapestry of Caribbean American culture. Join us as we explore a wide range of topics, from current events and community spotlights to arts, music, cuisine, and more. Our show features exclusive interviews with influencers, artists, community leaders, and everyday heroes who are making a difference in the Caribbean American community. Stay informed and inspired with our thought-provoking segments that highlight the diversity, resilience, and creativity within our community. Tune into the Caribbean American News Media Show for a captivating blend of news, entertainment, and storytelling that celebrates the Caribbean American experience. Get ready to discover new perspectives, celebrate successes, and connect with the heartbeat of the Caribbean American community. Don't miss a moment of the action. Stay tuned to Caribbean American News Media Show for an immersive viewing experience like no other. Hashtag Caribbean American News, hashtag show, hashtag cultural celebration.
Well, a special good day to all our viewers on Caribbean American News. It is good to be here with you. Here's wishing you a beautiful evening. I know that you are all set and you are ready to spend your evening with us here at Caribbean American News Media Platform. We are 2 minutes behind on GVD TV. We are waiting for the start of that program there. So greetings to all. Please share the live, tag a friend. When we are on GVD TV, I will make the announcement, okay? But greetings to all. Happy day, happy evening, my friends. How is life? How is things going? Tonight we have a number of matters for discussion, so we will go into it as soon as we get to a certain amount of viewers. We want to look at the federal enforcement agencies here in the United States and the impact on Caribbean nations. We also want to look at government minister who cried foul this week. And we will look at some other matters, government ministries not working on behalf of the citizens fast enough. We have a lot to discuss. Of course, we will end early so that we can take your calls on the platform. I would love to hear from those of you on the live. Greetings to all. And remember, let not your heart be troubled, friends. Let not your heart be troubled. We're going to have some hard discussions tonight. Discussions that are necessary. Discussions that maybe you would have had with your child if, you believe that your child, was not going the right path or doing something that you thought they need not to do. I'm sure you would have had that child to sit down and have that real conversation. So tonight we're having a real conversation. Very important discussion, and I am not going to be mincing my words with anything or with anyone. All right, and I make no apologies for statements made that I would make on this platform, because they would have been thought of. I would have been allowing it to go through the process in my head before it comes through my mouth. All right, so just share the live and tag a friend. To our viewers over on our YouTube channel, we want to greet you, and those who are on our Facebook page, we thank you so much. We look forward to the uplink very soon to our GVD TV network. Once you see we pull over an ad, it means that we would have already been streaming live on the platform. All right, so We're going to get into the business. Let us go over to Black Rant first. Black Rant is at it. Again, let's hear what he has to say. And it's Creole, so I'm happy to have it on the platform.
Another rant from the hilltop. Koute Black.
Les 7 lycéens. Nous les 7 lycéens. Bonjour, bonjour, bonjour les 7 lycéens. Bonjour, nous les 7 lycéens. Moussa John Baptiste n'avons commission ba ou. Moussa, healthcare, ça son bail qui important qu'on clock là qu'a fait tic tic healthcare. Wrong the clock. Healthcare son bail qui important qu'on breakfast, lunch and dinner. It's a must. Healthcare Moussa John Baptiste. Pas qu'à venir yon l'année et bon l'année et demi devant élection. Ça va healthcare. Healthcare is comme tout 24/7. Now est où Moussa? Mais si son moussouye, avec son moussouye, ou ka venir politique moussoua en les têtes les saint lycéens, garçon de bout ça. Garçon, il a monté pour 4 années. Depuis le corona, ou plus moun mort en bas chou, en whole Caribbean, le ou te minister of health. Ou ba biye avant te minister of health, ou voye ko mouti, Philippe J.P. ba au minister of health, because of koute ka voye ko mouti. Et ou pas sa handle ça. Moussa John Baptiste, we zouan Philippe J.P. ba au minister of health. Ou sa pou ki sa? Made ko question Moussa. Les United Workers Party te en office en temps coronavirus là, ou qui blue trumpet to pli, like you ready? C'est ça on dit, you ready? Ou qui most ready Minister of Health, but you was wrong. Worst Minister of Health. Now let Philippe J.P. man, you take a blue trumpet to. Là you gain election, you dit well you about Minister of Health. Et aussi et raison était bon Minister of Health là because of vous t'as parlé plus about santé. So he feel Prime Minister ou Philippe J.P. feel ou de ça handle ça. Bon pas de ça handle ça non non. So là now 4 years ou en office et depuis là ou en tout office healthcare system just collapse. Et puis devant élection en Moussa hot ni che garçon. Mais c'est moun qui mette hot là ou ça pour un office. Et healthcare hot ni life insurance, health insurance. Et moun qui vote taché doit yo. Pour moi vote by hot comme quick hot qui font différence en pays aller pour venir les pays santé. Et Moussa ou just brush ça et ka brisant garçon. Moussa, ou voulez venir en politics en tête les gens cette lycée? Garçon, c'est moun ça qui met au dos en gouvernement. Ou pas ready. Moussa, MP Belleville, moun qui bay non Moussa, yo te ba un bon nom because on mousouye. Ou ka couille par là. Moi changer ta élection, ta coronavirus, c'est full swing. Tu n'as pas de manager pays à autant bien, Moussa. Ou venir les National TV ou criticiser pas ni un bagay ou pas dit. Ou parler à quoi dire c'est ou qui est docteur pour elle. Là blow compressor ou Philippe J.P. Tellement yo ka blow compressor. Philippe J.P. dit wali kay ba in charge of health, Minister of Health. Mais les secrétaires à ça ou pas de ça fait job ça. Philippe J.P. même ça ou pas de ça fait ça ou ça. Moussa, Minister of Health. Mais Philippe J.P. force ou, because you can blow compressor. Et garçon plus moun mort about coronavirus. Et n'a donc pas Moussa parce que son moussouye. Pierre pas blâmer moi. Pièce l'hôpital, cheval, cabrit, mouton, chien, quand tu es à dingue, ou c'est pas t'envli tout because on moussouye. On mousse aux animaux. So who qui in charge of l'hôpital? Tous ces animaux ça quand tu es parmi mon l'hôpital. Les sept lycéens pas ni problème parce que on moussouye. Pour toute manière on mousse. Les animaux qui toujours toi pécoyo administre. Alva qui de sabat misé. Alva les sept lycéens vle savent. combien bouteilles chimiques ou servi à les Saint-Jude, Alva Baptiste. Ministre Laboui, ou son bava, parce que si vous pas un bava, ou pas qu'à venir à l'air National Television, eh bien, à un budget speech, eh bien, un house là, qu'a parlé, qu'a dit qu'on c'est une de bouteilles chimiques qui a nettoyé Saint-Jude. So, n'a priant l'eau alva, les simpliciens voulaient savoir, est-ce ou a fini nettoyer Saint-Jude, eh bien, combien de bouteilles chimiques ou servi à les Saint-Jude? Well, ou pas ça venir pièce point. Well, ministre Alva Baptiste, ministre Laboui, ou son bava. Ouais, ou son bava. Et flou bava, ouais, Jean Laboui pour dire, faut tout d'or. On se les parti ça, pour Prime Minister, minister. But you papi show power card, you always the most ready. Philippe JP était plus paré pour un pays. Écoutez, même quand vous Moussa, ou te dit qui plus ready pour une santé. Côté, garçon, hot ni chair pour moun, et pas juste chair, hot pas ni pièce OSP man. N'a couillé ça hot pas ni pièce OSP pour cette lycée. Moun vote hot la garçon, hot just carry politics depuis l'autre ka campaign from campaign pour élection en office is a game and a game and a game and a game. Labour Party, shame on you. Yeah man, you all have to go. Ek si moun nakay fon sel tet, ek vod hot door. You are last turn game hot, vie power hot. You are last turn sa.
All right, and that was our segment, Black Rant, and that is episode 18. Episode 18, all right? And we are very happy to have the Black Rant series on our platform. Amen. All right, so folks, yes, let's get to work. Now, there's a lot of developments out there, and let us just start. I don't know where to start, to tell the truth. I have CARICOM. I have the United States Immigration Services. I have Ralph Gonsalves in St. Vincent. I have a ministry within the government here. I have a statement from the Mr. Trump, his press secretary, and a lot more. So we're really packed. So I'm going to get right to it now. We are not up on activities yet. Maybe, we will cut all our advertisement for tonight and go straight into the broadcast. All right. For those of you who are viewing on YouTube, we've had an increase of viewership on our YouTube channel, and I want to thank those of you over there, my friend in Grenada, Clive, greetings to you, and all on our platform. Special greetings to all our valid viewers here on our Facebook channel. To those of you who are viewing outside and you don't want to click so that we can see you, come in, please. You can come in to the platform. I have no issues with you coming in here in our university here at Caribbean American News. All right, so let's get to the business of you, the people of the nation. I should not start with ICE because it is a lot. Okay, it's a lot. So just bear with me as I go back and forth, and I rant. Now, let's start with the Minister of Government. A minister of government who maybe, peradventure, I don't know. It sounds to me like he got a dose of his own government. And so he's screaming, he's crying out, and he's threatening, and he's digging, and he's saying a lot of things. Our friend is from Sandra from Trinidad. Welcome. He's digging, and he's trying to figure out his legal options concerning a dose of his own government there in St. Lucia. Let's go to a DBS report, and then we will have our discussion.
criticized the United Workers' Party, the UWP, for what he describes as personal attacks against him and his family. Speaking at Monday's pre-cabinet presser, Casimir expressed deep concern over the nature of social media posts made by UWP supporters. He specifically addressed a recent post from a UWP-affiliated Facebook page, which shared a copy of a property deed for a piece of land which Casimir purchased last year in Masset Grosley. The post seemed to indicate that some form of corruption was involved in the purchase of the lands, valued above $250,000.
I, as a St. Lucian, I feel that is within my purview that if I have a particular amount of savings or a particular amount of connection with banking institutions, I think it's within my right for all of us young people, whether you're a politician or whether you're not a politician, whether you're a banker, whether you're a physician, a doctor, a lawyer, I think that every single one of us here can go to a banking institution and get a loan. The bank will decide whether or not you qualify for a loan. So I will apologize when I make a mistake, and I've shown that before. But in me going to a bank, applying for a loan and being granted a loan, for UWP to purchase a piece of St. Lucia, for UWP to take that document and to post it on social media as if something untoward is happening, I think it's disgraceful. And it's an element that can discourage young people from getting involved in politics. I refuse to believe that if I spend the next 20 years of my life providing service to St. Lucia, that disqualifies me from going to a lending institution and borrowing money to purchase a piece of property.
Casimir has condemned the social media post, noting that such allegations are not only unfounded but also serve to undermine the integrity of political discourse in the country.
I have explored all my options, and I continue to explore all my options in terms of how I deal with this going forward, because my personal information has been published in the public sphere. And I think genuinely what I have going for me is my connection with my community, my constituency, and individuals who know me, who have said to me and comforted me when I go on the ground that this is just unsavory and this is desperate. And for me, my responsibility is my constituency and young people. I will, for sure, explore all my options. But there's just so much work to be done.
The Grosley MP argues that politicians have a responsibility to set a positive example for their constituents, emphasizing the divisive nature of current political rhetoric and its potential impact on the island's youth.
And no.
Okay, so let's just go through this. In my opinion, this is my opinion of Casimir, his outrage. I'm going to put this all into perspective tonight. One, young people, you can own things. You can go to the bank. United Workers' Party supports that, encourages it. Nurses and doctors can go to the bank. That's your private business. You can go get your loans and do whatever you want. Mr. Casimir, you are not in any of these categories. You are a government minister. And the citizens of the country have every right to ask you to account for things that they would, they were in their own judgment. You just came into government and you're getting a lot of $1 million deals and $250,000, $500,000, a lot of different $1 million deals. And you would think the citizens would want to know, what's going on here? They'll question, they have a right to question. But let me just get some things straight, Mr. Government Minister. One, you accuse the United Workers' Party of publishing your private information. Now that in itself is liable. The United Workers' Party lawyers can ask you to prove that they, the United Workers' Party, exposed your private documents. I'm not just saying, sir. So while you're looking at all your options, maybe you would look at your option of getting a lawyer to maybe help you to clean up this legal mess that you try and pull yourself in at this press conference. So one, you accuse the United Workers' Party of exposing your private information. I have not seen any documents issued or exposed by the United Workers' Party. If you're speaking about United PAC, there's a big difference in the name. United PAC, United Workers' Party. Any little child would see that these things, I mean, all they have in common is united. Yeah, and there are a lot of other things in the country that starts with united. And for you to accuse the United Workers' Party of not wanting the young people to succeed, I think you're being a hypocrite, and I'll show you why you're a hypocrite, sir. And forgive me if I call you names. We will judge at the end whether I should apologize or we continue calling you a hypocrite. At the end of the rant, we'll make a decision. So here is this, sir. Here is this. Your government in opposition criticized Gail Rigobert of buying a cheap condo. Maybe it was not finished, blah, blah, blah. She got a loan, went to the bank, got a loan, and you guys went crazy. Buddy, your mentor, oh my God, it was a sin, the biggest sin in St. Lucia, where this Dr. Gail Rigobert went to the bank, got a loan, and purchased a condo. You guys went crazy. And I didn't hear you coming online and exploring options for lawyers. I didn't hear you ranting like you were doing now, like you're running out of breath too, like your mentor. I never heard you. Say to your party, cool out. The lady she's in government. She's not an old woman, but she goes to the bank, she gets a loan. Nothing wrong with that. You didn't say anything. Nothing at all. But you're ranting because they're talking about your assets, the assets that you're accumulating while you are in government. While you are in government, sir. I can't ask you any question, but you and your folks asked the United Workers' Party to account for the asset of Gail Rigobert. And not only that, you guys went after Guy Joseph. You accused him of all kind of bubble because he has bus and van and he was accused of having a lot of things while he was in government. And you now get a little dose of your medicine from an independent group on Facebook, independent of the United Workers' Party, and now you're trying to pull the United Workers' Party in the sauce. Look, the United Workers' Party is not nice to the country. Were you nice? Were the Labour Party nice when you guys were questioning, asking for accountability because it was bubble? Where did she get the money to buy the condo? Where Guy Joseph gets all this money? And the whole world was ending because there was some kind of bubble going on. And now you're crying. Like you're crying now that somebody's asking you where you got the money from to buy what you have while you're in government. I would suggest to you, sir, that you relax yourself go back to the drawing board, look at your options of clearing the United Workers' Party from your little rant there. Suck it up like a man and move along quickly. Because the longer you stay in this hypocrisy corner, is the worse it gets for you, sir. You went on that your documents, personal documents, were exposed on social media. Where were you when your mentor were exposing the vendors, Mrs. Fannis? Were exposing her private documents on social media, on television. Where were you, sir? Come on, I got you. You were smiling somewhere and cheering him on and yeah, man. Expose them hypocrites. That's what you were saying, huh? Is it? I'm just asking. Where were you just recently when Mr. Skinny, the late Skinny, private conversation and documents, his wife's private conversation and private documents, contracts were exposed on social media? Where were you, sir? Where were you? Were you busy trying to get a team of lawyers to advise them? Or maybe we're judging you wrong. Maybe you called your mentor and you said to him, "Mentor, you're not supposed to do that. These people private documents. Her name is on it and blah, blah, blah. His name is on it. No, we can't do that." No. You didn't do that, ain't it? But now you got a taste of your own buddy's medicine. It is called buddy's medicine. It feels like a punch, a babudong. And you cry foul. Lord, we can't take it no more. I'm exploring my option. And my problem is the tone of voice. I'm exploring my options. So I'm going to ask you, while you're on the hypocrisy lane, what did you do to defend all those whose personal documents were exposed by your mentor, by your buddy in the chamber, in the people's house? Where were you? Did you say anything? Anything at all? I mean, something? So we, the people who are looking on, we're not sorry for you. Your government set this precedent. Your government minister buddy started the whole idea of exposing private documents. Oh, yes, Shastny documents were exposed, all private developers' documents, and this one. And oh, it was a free-for-all expose. Yes, man, all are welcome to the expose. So we got you, sir. We got you. So stop this selective outrage, please. We are over this. People are tired of these nonsense. Come on, please. Continue to explore your options, because you will need those options next year. Continue to explore them. Make sure they don't explode on you, because the people will call you to account. The people will. So we got you, sir, on the lane of hypocrisy. But I want to hear you a little more. Just say something again. Just a little more. Let's listen to the brother. Let's listen to him.
I do not have a hope well.
Over the years, members of civil society as well as politicians from both sides have called for a code of ethics for politicians. Casmer believes that the SLP would welcome such a code. but he also expressed uncertainty about whether the opposition would be as
I
receptive.
think that the St. Lucia Labour Party, even when they were in opposition, they were never that nasty. They were never that personal. They were never that vindictive. I mean, can you imagine the United Workers' Party have the temerity, the enmity, God, to attack a Chief Justice? Somebody who's been upstanding in St. Lucia, provided stellar representation in Grossby for 2 terms. Justice Mario Michel. It means that these guys had no boundaries.
Sorry. Sorry. Thank God we're not on national TV because of that. Sorry, you tickled me, man. What's going on there, man? Come on, give me a break. So, can you imagine an outstanding citizen? Now, think about all the outstanding citizens that you guys have besmirched their characters. Think about all the good people who serve the country. Think about them. You guys were all that nice to them in the last campaign, ain't it? Think about the people that you guys dragged in the dirt. Good people who serve the country. And by the way, you're still doing it. You guys are still at it. You dragged them on television. You dragged them all over the place. Outstanding citizen. As a matter of fact, Mario Michel was fair game because he was a politician like you. He was fair game. Yeah? So let me ask you, Mr. Casimir, who is your lawyer? Question. I'm just asking you a question. Who is your lawyer? Is it Mario Michel's son? Oops. Oops, I'm sorry.
And usher him out.
Oops. I'm going to ask that question again, sir. Who is your lawyer? I'm just asking for solutions. It's just to first get an idea why you acting the way you're acting. And by the way, while you're at it, while you're there in the hypocrisy lane, remember you guys dragged Mr. Alan Chastity, his father, his mother, dragged his family in the dirt, accused them of all kind of bubble and insider dealings, and outstanding citizen, Mr. Chastity, Michael Chastity, who served St. Lucia well and served the Labour Party well, in bailing them out when they needed money. Did he not serve the country well when you guys dragged him in the mud? I'm just asking while we're here in the hypocrisy lane. Huh? And the other question is, what is what is his role really? The same buddy, the same guy. What is his role at the NLA? While you there talking, while you are exploring your options or exploding your options, I would really, sir, want to know what in the world is going on. So the question again is Mario Michel's son is he a lawyer, first of all? And if he's a lawyer, is he your lawyer? I mean, I can just ask you that question. Huh? And let me ask you, the title of that land thing that you're trying to say which should not be in public, can I not as a citizen go there and search and get that document in the country at the registry, the land registry? Huh? Huh? And let me ask you while you're at it, on a whole separate discussion, I like to make a bouillon with everything. The $80 million that the NLA has spent You know? What? The contractors, you know what's going on there, brother. Just dropping some corn. I hope you pick them up. Talk to me. While you're exploding your options. Huh? Have you guys really account for that $80 million of taxpayers' money? Did you? So answer those questions. Buddy, friend. And let me warn you as a young man, don't let these seasoned, spoiled politicians spoil any chances for you going forward. You're a young man. Don't let them be your mentor. They will mentor you to hell. You hear what I'm saying? Yes, they will mentor you to hell. So my advice to you is to stand clear of the closing doors. Because whole call back I bon, less the books are affidable. Yeah? But we'll get back to that whole thing with the $80 million. And that's why I keep saying to you government people, accountability, transparency, accountability, transparency. The people will not question you. They would not be suspecting things if we come clean with the citizens of the country. When they ask you who is the contractor, I don't know, I will find out, What kind of story is this? So you do that to the citizens, they question you everything you buy, and then you cry foul as a government minister. Guess what? Listen to me, sir. Just take your medicine. If you want to drink some sugar behind it, that's what we used to do when we drink the bitter bush back in the days. We would take the sugar, the what do you call it? The Sion, honey, and we take it like a man. So point back, you guys, sir. Well, ma'am. Anyway, moving along, folks. So let's allow him to finish. Because he's not finishing so quick. Go finish, buddy.
I believe my party would adhere to everything because we can speak on the substance of our representation in this country and the development we've had in 3.5 years. While the other party, we will continue to go high. They will definitely continue to go low because there's no other place for them to go. Period.
For the DBS News World, Zane Rob.
So there is no other place for them to go but low. And they will go high. If that's what you call high on Thursday night, I don't want to see higher. If that's what you guys call high, exposing people's business as government ministers and not even giving people the room, the flexibility to mourn the loss of their loved ones, if that's what you call high, all right? And by the way, most St. Lucians will judge you. They will decide how high you guys went or how low you guys went. The people will decide that, all right? Anyway, there is a situation in the country, and that is St. Lucia. There's a situation that we got to discuss. Lately I've been hearing a lot of frustrated people at the registry, at those offices. I don't know what is happening in your government agency, but Mr. Minister, while you were talking there, I thought that you guys had a well-oiled machine and that you're so high, flying high. Let it fly it high in the sky, let the whole world know. So I thought that you're flying so high at an altitude where the people, feel comfortable and everything, nothing bouncy in the sky, no turbulences, everything is fine. A beautiful day for flying with the St. Lucia Labour Party. But it seems to me that every week we're hearing of frustrated citizens trying to get documents. Before I go there, I am working with an elderly woman who have no family here. Daughter abandoned her. She's about 80. Got injured, end up with the city pushing all over the place. I stepped in. She got her into a rehab. We're still trying to identify her. I finally got all her information. She's a Jamaican, of course. I quickly went with the information, went on the Jamaica government website, filed a document online, paid whatever fees so that I can get her birth certificate so we can start a process. I did all that while sitting at my office. But in St. Lucia, it seems that the people are being frustrated just to get a birth certificate, just to get a passport, just to get some urgent document. It takes forever. And not only it takes forever, the insults, the humiliation, the loss of time, the loss of money, the frustration that you get just to amend a document. And here, let's go to this report from Mr. Stanislas there of the DBS News St. Lucia. All right?
For a rectification in 2023 to secure her son's visa approval at the U.S. Embassy. However, delays and poor communication from the registry have forced her to reschedule her embassy appointment twice, and she faces the possibility of doing so again if the issue remains unresolved.
When I came here, they gave me a list of documents that his father has to fill in because his father lives in New York. I sent all the documents to New York. They told me I had to scan it and send it to him via email. I did that. When I came here with the documents, they told me the documents were not filled correctly. He needs to go to the consulate and not a lawyer to get it done. He went to the consulate filled out the form, stamped it, and he sent it back to me since 2023. We are in 2025.
Theodule highlighted her frustration with the unprofessionalism of certain registry staff and the lack of clear guidance despite following all instructions given. She also pointed out the significant financial burden she has incurred throughout this lengthy process.
Every time I come inside of there is a different story. They said they wanted him interviewed. He took his time. He came there from New York to come and get an interview done. And we are in 2025 and I cannot get my son's birth certificate. I still came there today to find out what's going on, and security will watch me and tell me I am not dressed appropriately to go inside of there. I just have one simple question for the government of St. Lucia. What is going on? Why is it taking so long for people to get their documents, their birth rights, their birth documents in their birth country? That's all I'm asking them.
Theodule detailed the mounting expenses associated with obtaining the rectified birth certificate since January 11, 2024. With her U.S. Embassy appointment set for next month, she is appealing to the relevant authorities and any experts who can assist in expediting the process.
Today is Monday, the 27th of January 2025. Somebody make it make sense for me inside of there. Make it make sense inside of there. $53. And you still have to go to the post office and buy 4 stamps at $20 just to get one rectification done. And yet still you cannot get your documents, and when you go inside and verify, security is telling you that you're not dressed appropriate to go inside of there. Go home and change and come back at 12. They will tell you they close at 1 o'clock, they cannot accommodate you.
She also indicated her willingness to pursue legal action if the issue is not addressed immediately. For the DBS News World, Manasseh Stanislas reporting.
Yeah, that is so. And by the way, the credit of that clip goes to the DBS folks over there. Very sad, you know, you can hear the frustration, making the lady putting out her best English. I mean, that's what they're doing to you all solutions, you know. You all finishing your best English, just trying to get a piece of certificate, a document, something corrected. Things that should be done 1, 2, 3. A small country. Now, when we get over to the discussion of our immigration situation here in the United States, if you can't deal with just some little documents and stuff, how are you going to deal with hardened criminals, technical criminals, when they come to your country? Is this a broken government system that needs reform? What is going on? How long does it take? 2023 to 2025. It's January, almost the end of January, and the woman can't get an important piece of document. St. Lucians, honestly, I don't know what to tell you folks again, but this makes absolutely no sense at all. None whatsoever. And I want to go back to Mrs. Rep from Grosley. You better take care of the people. You better go in these communities and do what you need to do. A matter of fact, you know what I suggest? You don't even have time. You're a lame duck. You guys are lame duck right now. Everything you guys going to be doing is going to be rushed. It's going to be in time for an election. I don't know how much you guys can do in half of a year, 1 year, or whatever it is you have left. I honestly don't know. Because there's so much broken. There's a lot of broken stuff. And some of the broken stuff, them fellas break them themselves, Projects that should have been completed, them fellas stop the projects to look for Mapui or to look for Bobol. Up to now, they can't find the Bobol. They continue with some of the projects. And to cover the shame of it all, they do some amendment to the project to say, yes, we had to change the plans at the airport because, it's too expensive and I never see upstairs and downstairs airport. I never see that. Just like I never believed that tourism would bounce back so good. I never believed that, but it is what it is. And these are the leaders, folks, that we have at the helm of our government. These are the leaders, folks, that we have in our government. Yeah? And remember, the one in Trinidad can't even take care of the crime in this country, was calling Mr. Chastney Tropical Trump. Well, the whole world now got to deal with U.S. Trump. Yeah? The whole world got to deal with it. Trinidad got to deal with it. Grenada, St. Lucia, the entire world got to deal. So go and insult him. Go and insult Mr. Trump. Go up there. Anyway, let's move on quickly. I have a report somewhere. Let me see if I can pull it up quickly from Mr. Gonsalves there in St. Vincent. Just bear with me. Let me see if the folks send it over. Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. Yes, it was sent over to me. Let's see if... And by the way, we have Dr. Powell and some security experts that will be joining us sometime next week so that we can empower our St. Lucians in the diaspora with this this immigration issue that we got to deal with sooner than later. Yeah. So let me just pull up something here for you from Dr. Gonsalves over there in St. Vincent. Well, he's not my favorite prime minister. You know that. He's not my favorite prime minister. I am a James Mitchell guy. But what can I say, folks? Anyway, so let's go over to Ralph Gonsalves concerning the foreign policy, foreign aid that was paused for 90 days by U.S. President Donald Trump. The challenging period ahead for countries like St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Let's go over to St. Vincent, SVG News.
Proved authorities had approved through their armed forces $4 million to put some additional warehousing facilities and support for disasters, disaster preparedness in Canouan and in Union, and we are looking at the possible parcels of land, Canouan and Myro, sorry, because we have one in Union, particular parcels of land which we can use. But I don't know. I'm waiting to hear whether this ban, this ban for the time being on all foreign aid coming out of U.S. issued by Secretary of State Rubio, whether that applies to this. I know it applies generally, but there may be an exception for something like this. Year one for education, definitely there's a ban on that for the next 90 days.
NIH?
Yeah. I've been tracking every piece of information that I could get, every statement issued, because this means a few dollars and cents for us, or I had to go elsewhere. It's a period of real challenge, and those who are simplistic and who don't have an overall frame and who don't appreciate what is taking place before our very eyes are likely to end up in disaster. Very challenging period ahead. We're requiring extraordinary leadership.
So that was Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves there in St. Vincent concerning the 90-day freeze by Donald Trump of aid. I have not heard a statement from the Prime Minister of St. Lucia's yet. I do not know if he spoke, if he had a press conference to speak to the citizens of St. Lucia concerning the freeze, 90-day freeze. I don't know if the Prime Minister, Mr. Philip Japere, spoke to St. Lucians concerning the threat of deportation to St. Lucians. I am not sure if the Prime Minister or the Minister of Foreign Affairs addressed St. Lucians to at least give them some comfort, letting them know that the government stands with them. I am not sure if that was done already. If it has not yet been done, I would say to you that in times of crisis, leadership do matters. And let me tell you, there is a crisis. There is a crisis on our hands. There is one. So let's go over to some of the pictures of the raids by ICE here in the United States from January 24th. On January 24th, over 593 arrests was made by ICE. That's just one raid, friends. We have some concern here by let's go here to the CARICOM leaders. CARICOM urged, let me just remove this lower third. The CARICOM urged to prepare for U.S. deportation. So the government of the region, they're asking, someone is sounding the alarm. David is sounding the alarm, and he is saying, look, you guys got to prepare for mass deportation in your country. And that's what we're going to talk about. Mass deportation. This is not a joke. This is not a dream. This is real. This is no joke. A matter of fact, just recently there was some raids right there in New York, right there in Brooklyn. Do you understand the seriousness of this? So CARICOM is urging, look guys, get ready. And not only get ready for deportation, get ready for sophisticated criminals coming into your country. Now, if you have a crime issue and the police and government are still fighting to get this crime under control, the little gangs, little young boys, 5-year-old and 6-year-old putting pressure on the police and pressure on the government. Can you imagine that? Little 9-year-old and 10-year-old joining little 5 and 6 and 7 and 20 gangs, and government ministers and leaders got to pat them on the back and say, behave yourself, oh. What are you going to do when these sophisticated criminals come into your country? You think you will pat them on the backs? You think you're going to have peace treaty? Play football with them and that's going to fix the problem? Yeah? Do you understand what this means for developing states? America they're already thinking of pulling back foreign aid, frozen for 90 days, of course. The intention is to put pressure on the world so that they will bend under this immigration. It's all about immigration, deportation. The 90 days halt is part of this whole agenda by the Donald Trump administration. That's what it is. You guys mess around and we cut this. You guys don't take your criminals back and we cut this. You don't allow our jets to land, our military jets to land with your criminals, we will cut this. And if you think I am joking, I am going to take you to the press conference today by the press secretary of Donald Trump. How he thinks of those of you who are not documented. You may not have committed a crime to say you robbed somebody or you did something so bad, you child support, you molest somebody, she's saying, and I want you to listen, she said everybody who is not legal is criminals. Reverend, this is coming out of the White House. Now listen to this. Let's go over to the White House.
Arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
A criminal record versus those.
Hold a minute, let's play this again.
Of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration.
Folks, this is big. I don't know if you guys understand what is happening here. The press secretary of the President of the United States is saying to you, all are criminals. Now remember, they said to you, well, it's only criminals we're rounding up. It's only the criminals. Now you understand what they're talking about. She made it clear today. She said, this is our policy. Once you overstay here in this country and you do not have legal rights to stay here, you are a criminal. So they're coming for you as criminals. Yeah? You thought this was a joke? You thought when Donald Trump said all what he said that he was just joking? As usual, he's bluffing and there are checks and balances and all these kind of stories? Folks, do you understand what is going on in the United States and what it means for you in the Caribbean, in the region? Yeah? I want you to understand this. Now, this is the worst time to have Philip J. as your Prime Minister, I'll tell you the truth, and as Minister of Defense. This is the worst time. This demands a response like COVID-19. I am telling you, this whole immigration problem, these guys should have had emergency meetings in the country. Them fellas should have been on emergency meeting, call in the different offices, St. Lucian embassies around the region. These guys should have been calling and organizing emergency meetings, you know, trying to figure out what are we going to do, how are we going to deal with our people, what are we going to say to them. Emergency meetings should have been happening already, if they have not done it, of course, because this is serious. This is no joke. Right here by me, roadblocks close to Gregory, between Greg and myself here in New York, roadblocks. And for those of you, let me say to you, and I'm not here to make you feel afraid, I am here to tell you the truth. Yeah, when you go to your doctor, you want the truth. If you have cancer, if you don't have it, if you have headache, whatever it is, you want to know what you're dealing with. Some of you don't like the reality. So when Mr. Shasta was giving you all the reality, of course, you all didn't want the reality. You all wanted a lie. And that's why you all are where you all are today. Because nobody wants to hear the hard truth. COVID-19, we have to shut the thing down. We have to restrict people. And that's what it was. We had to do that. But you have a government who will not tell you that they have to do this in order to get this done. They will play with you and tell you, oh, your freedom is very important to us. No, in time of crisis, your freedom may mean nothing. In times of emergency, you jump through window, you jump through roof, you jump through doors, you jump through things, you break things. Because there is an emergency. But Mr. Jackson didn't break anything, of course. So let's go back again to the statement from the White House. I want this to soak in.
President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks.
All right, so it is a culture shift. Yeah, it is a culture shift. Let me just let you hear this. Just bear with me, folks. Okay, I'm not sure what is happening here.
The lady works there. They're asking him, do you need something? And he said, no. The only thing he said is immigration is follow me. We go see them more because they are taking criminal people. They have records. So that's what Trump said. They don't want that kind of people here. So he's going cleaning the place. And my opinion is, if I have rooms and I have criminal people, I don't want criminal people in my home. United States want the same thing. They don't want criminal people inside here. So that's what they're doing, cleaning. Immigration was running, but the person they was looking for, he ran away and came to this place. And so when he came inside to this place, the lady works there. They're asking him, do you need something? And he said, no. The only thing he said is immigration is follow me. We go see them more because they are taking criminal people. They have records. So that's what Trump said. They don't want that kind of people here. So he's going cleaning the place. And my opinion is, if I have rooms and I have criminal people, I don't want criminal people.
So I tell you, brainwashing is a very serious thing. Brainwashing is a very serious thing. So she's saying, well, it's only criminals. And oh, yeah, you have rules. And Trump said. And she's one of the Latinos, of course, that supported, yes. Now they are crying. Those who are legal are crying because their families who are not legal are getting pulled out of home. Now, you see there, ICE went into the restaurant with guns. Brethren, this is not a joke. Went in with guns. And God forbid you had other people sitting there in the restaurant eating. They would have sealed the restaurant and they would have asked you to account, are you a citizen or not? Show us your document. Do you have it? Do you have ID? Show us. A majority of you from the Caribbean who are here in the United States. Some of you, the only thing that you walk around with is your shoe and your expensive bags. Not an ID. Your passports are expired. You treat life like it's going to be the same way all the time and nothing will change. And you mock Trump. When Pear told you guys what he wanted to do and all the misinformation and stuff, you guys swallowed it, didn't it? You didn't take it serious. Although he didn't tell you he was going to put a 2.5% on you. But you didn't believe him. Let's go to another report. You got to believe politicians, friends. Sorry about that. You got to believe them.
Mills ICE agents setting a News Nation's Mills Hayes in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood that's also known as the Mexico of the Midwest. Mills ICE agents setting a new benchmark with arrests yesterday. What do those numbers look like?
Hi, Marky. Yeah, that's right. ICE officials say that they arrested nearly 1,200 people all across the country on Monday. And this is a record high for the Trump administration since the president returned to the White House nearly a week ago and implemented a zero tolerance policy when it comes to illegal immigration. Now, these ICE raids have been happening across the country, including in places like Chicago, Miami, Phoenix, Atlanta. And we're also hearing about raids that are happening in Los Angeles, Denver, and New York. ICE says that it's arrested more than 3,500 illegal immigrants since President Trump returned to the White House, more than half of which came since these raids began over the weekend. According to the border czar, Tom Homan, what we're seeing now is just the beginning.
President Trump's going to secure the borders, promised to the American people. We're going to enforce immigration laws. That's what we're going to do, without apology. We're on board. We're going to go forward. You're going to see it get a hell of a lot bigger in the near future.
But not everyone is on board with President Trump's immigration policies. There are Quaker groups who filed a lawsuit trying to block immigration officers from implementing those raids in places of worship. This is not the first legal challenge we have seen, but it is the first we've seen from a faith-based group. Marky?
Yeah, we're seeing that opposition, I should say, already taking place. And Mills, Congress now starting to push back against those local leaders, right, who say they won't help with the president's deportation efforts. I'm curious what's in store for them.
Right. Well, the House Oversight Committee has sent letters to the mayors of Denver, Chicago, Boston, and New York City to testify in front of Congress and also to give more information about what their immigration policies look like and how they're assisting federal immigration officers. And the committee chair, Kentucky Republican James Comer, also called on those local leaders to testify, as I was saying, in a hearing next month. In a statement Monday, Comer wrote that Congress must determine whether further legislation is necessary to enhance border security and public safety. Marky, no word yet on if these mayors will accept the invitation to testify in front of Congress.
Wow. So, folks, there you have it. What you're seeing there is sanctuary cities are being targeted like New York, and they got to go to Washington to account for their immigration policies. Trump is already squeezing, and we have a mayor here in New York who people are kind of concerned about. You know, he's trying to get reelected, and I mean, there's a lot, you know, of uncertainty when it comes to this Mayor Adams here in New York. But these sanctuary cities got to account for their policies. That's how bad it is. I am telling you, friends, that those who are... Let me just go to this clip. It just came in. Let's try to get it unmuted, please.
Mira. Oh my God. Oímos 2, 3 disparos, cree que sí lo encontraron, estaba ahí cerca. Oh my goodness. Mira, ahí van los somos los buenos. Tenemos que volar aquí. No, man. Sí. Oh, está adentro. Está adentro ahí. Sí. Maybe they inside, maybe. Mira. Estaba grabando yo. Uy, mira. 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 Ay, sí. Ay, mira lo que pasó.
Folks, this is a new dawn here in the United States. Let's go to there's something else here that I want to show you from our a list of what folks would consider to be a list of deportees. So we go over to the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement document here. This was from November 2024. This is the list, and let's go down that list. So we are seeing a number of countries. These are individuals who were placed in deportation. That was from last year. They were placed in deportation, removal, final order of removal from the country. Some of them would have had green cards, of course. Some of them would have been criminals. Some of these people are individuals who filed for permanent residency. They filed for also what we called asylum. Those people that you see on the list here, folks, are individuals who filed, some of them filed through the state to get their green card. Some of those documents were fraudulent documents. Never submit fraudulent documents to any government agency, whether it's in your country or in another man's country. These people, ICE, they know exactly where they are. They know exactly where they are. Now let's look for let's look at some of the Caribbean countries. We have Antigua Barbuda, 110. We have Barbados, 151. Now this is not the new list. This is a list from last year. Individuals who were placed in deportation hearing. These are people who filed for status. A lot of them filed for asylum, fleeing from their countries, claiming that somebody's trying to get them. There's injustice. Some of them say that they're gay and there's persecution in their country, or religious persecution, and they run into the United States and file for asylum. All right? I just wanted to clear the air on that. So we're looking for some Caribbean countries here on the list. It's a very long one. It's about 7 pages. So we have Guyana, 1,236. Yes, Guyana, 1,002. We have Grenada, 149. We have Jamaica, 5,120. Jamaica, 5,120. Share the live, tag a friend. Let's keep going down. Let's look at St. Vincent and St. Lucia. So we have St. Kitts and Nevis, 68. So those are individuals who are already in deportation mode. Right now, the Trump administration is going to go in and take them out, send them back to their country. Are we together? Some of them would have crossed the Canadian border and then file in the country for certain status, and the government would have take action against them. Say kids again, 68. Now this is not the new list, folks. This is not a new list. I want you to know that. Yeah, good. So we have St. Lucia, 202 St. Lucians. 202 St. Lucia. Now, I'm telling you, there are more than 202, but this is just the amount of St. Lucians that are going to be deported. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, 127. Yeah? We have Trinidad and Tobago, 1,197. Now that's the list. I'm going to repeat it. Those individuals who filed for some form of the first set of individuals who filed. The United States government find that either the filing was fraudulent. Let me tell you, if you have no problem in your country and you go and file in the United States as seeking refugee status because you're being persecuted in your country, they look at the country also. They want to know what is going on in this country. So you're putting your country into a host of problems when you file some of these fraudulent documents. And now the government, the U.S. government, they're going through all the system with a fine-tooth comb. And I am telling you, I am not sitting here rejoicing. I am giving you information. I am giving you information. And that's why I say to all those hacks and people who are walking around cussing people on Facebook and are doing a whole sort of foolishness, in the first place, some of them should not have been on Facebook. Especially if you had submitted documents to the government. You should not have been there cussing people. Yes, you can have an account and you can, share your little encouragement and everything else, but this back and forth fight, the algorithms highlights it. Brethren, if you Google my name, you will see some things coming up. That's just how it is. But when you speak to these individuals, they think that, everything is about politics. It's about Alan Chastney. It's about this one. It's about that one. It's about Philip J. What about you? That's why I keep saying to St. Lucians, you got to mind your business. Some say to me, go back to St. Vincent. I mean, come on. That's not your business. Your business is to ensure that, one, you have a good ID. You have a good passport, not expired, especially if you are in a foreign country. There is the St. Lucian embassies in each country, consulate or whatever you call them. Ambassadors, we're paying them. They're in these countries. You go there and you get your documents renewed. But you guys, the only thing some of you have is empty bottles of rum to prove it and a host of enemies because you would have cursed off everyone in the diaspora. Everybody, especially those who can give you some sort of support. Folks, we are not an island on our own. We need each other. I heard somebody asking if Ian can go back home and all this nonsense. Brethren, that's not important. Ian can go home when he wants. Brethren, this is minutes to midnight when it comes to immigration. Sadly, in our developing states, we do not have enough resources. We do not have enough foundations that have been set in the nation to accommodate what we are about to experience. Hardened criminals, sophisticated criminals, creating a hazard to the nation. 200 people alone being sent back to our country, friends, it will pose a problem. Because your healthcare system is broken, and I am sure some of the people will come back with health issues, needing dialysis, needing cancer treatment and all sorts of treatments, and that is added burden on a system. And that's why we have been preaching, let us build a proper system now and not later. Not only the Trump disaster can hit you, But other disasters can hit the country. And we must always build back better. And this is a wake-up call for our political leaders. It is a political, it is a problem that we have to face, we have to discuss. It is hard to discuss because I have a lot of good people here in the United States who are not documented. They are not criminals. They just want a better life and they're here. They ain't bothering anybody. They're minding their business. And there are a whole set of others who are living in this place recklessly, carelessly, minding other people's business. Folks, I have to tell you the truth tonight. And let me tell you something, folks. And I'll be very blunt with you. I'm not going to put water in my mouth to tell you the truth. I love you. I'll tell you the truth. Because the truth will confront you whether you want it or not. The truth could be an ICE agent. Could be a raid that you get yourself caught up in. Yes, that truth will confront you. Some of you don't talk to your own families in the diaspora. You don't have papers. They don't know your business. They don't know where you live. They don't know what you have. And if something happened, my friends, have you made preparation? Do you have names? Do you tell people? Do you have people you can trust? That you can tell where your money is, where you have your keys, your kids go to school, you have somebody who, you add somebody else's name. I told you to call the school if you have children in the school and add somebody else's name to pick up your children. That first call you will make, if ICE pick you up, you will make that call to the person who's going to pick up your child, and you're going to say to them that I got arrested, I am in a situation, hey, could you pick up my child for me today? Keep the child at your house or blah, 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 drop the child off by Johnny, Teresa, until we figure this out. But you got to start making preparation to go home. I know you're not ready, but the possibility is there that something can happen because they're escalating these raids. Trump is punishing sanctuary cities. The White House press secretary told you that they consider all the people criminals. She said that's their policy. Take it very serious. Take it very serious, friends. What I do not want you to do, what I don't want you to do, is to not go to the hospital if you need medical care. Is to not send your child to school because you're afraid. Is to not go and pick up some groceries. You just limit your movement. That's all. Limit your movement. Don't get in any problems. I also advise St. Lucians and those who are from the Caribbean who are in New York, who received a New York, one of those licenses that was issued to non-documented people, be careful on the roads. If you have a vehicle, you're not documented, get off the people's road. Take a Uber. If you don't want to take the bus, you're afraid of the bus or the train, take a Uber, but get off the people's road. I don't know how much more I can tell you the truth. If you are not documented, you should not be driving. Because those raids are unpredictable. You don't know which roadblock you're going to get yourself caught up into. And when these agents come, they come in with guns. They come in large groups. And they come knocking. And I'm sorry for, honestly, the truth is, I'm sorry for those who have been telling you healthcare in your country is the best and everything is good in your country, and they're up here enjoying all the freebies. There is no more freebies. I got word, right? I got word. And my friend is going to call me, my legal scholar. I got word that the government freezed all Section 8, all whatever subsidies that poor people used to get. Freeze, freeze, freeze. Do you know what that means? Those of you who were paid your little $200 for rent because the government is paying some, guess what? Whole cow pack bon. A lot of government programs will end. Government support. A friend of mine who worked at one of the pantries said to me, Garfield, man, I've never seen this. The pantry didn't have a lot of people this week. I'm like, what do you mean? He said, the people are afraid they're not coming. Another pastor friend of mine, he said, boy, my church, a lot of my members didn't come today. Because if you look at the rate, it was like Saturday, Sunday, and then a Monday. Monday when, a lot of people going to work. Sunday, people at church, moving back and forth. Saturday, church, people are moving around after church and stuff like that. They are targeted. But this is a time, and I'm going to say it, this is a time for people to mind their business. Your business is on the ground in St. Lucia also. Agitate for proper systems. Some of you will have to face the idea of waiting a whole year to get a piece of document from the registrar or the registry. Some of you will have to wait in plastic chairs at hospitals to get treatment. And God forbid, I tell you, God is not sleeping. I keep telling you guys that. That the possibility is that some of you who have been nasty and cussing people and disrespecting decent people, the possibility is there that you now can experience what you were cussing the people for. The possibility is that some of you will remember that some of us were speaking about the healthcare system, the level of crime in the country, the cost of the food in the supermarkets, the cost of gas at the pumps. Some of you will remember it. And that's why it pays to brethren to stick on issues, deal with issues, and not deal with people. God is not mocked. Now, I would have loved, I'll tell the truth, I would have loved at this point to have Alan Shastney at the helm of government. I can almost guarantee you what would have been happening right now. Calls would have been made. Emergency meetings would have been in place. Preparation would have already started. Task force would have already been implemented. An address to the nation would have already been done after he would have gotten information from the State Department and his embassies around the country. Because now you must have an emergency meeting with all your diplomats in the United States to gather information. What are you hearing? What did the congressman say to you? How are we going to get information to our people? What can we do? What information can we send out in mass numbers to our people? How do we... By now, all that would have been in place. Sunday, you'd have already gotten an emergency state of the nation address. But all you having is one guy in tight suit telling you he's looking at all options because somebody say put his down. All kind of nonsense when this is important. And that's why I'm going to say to you, St. Lucian, I'm not taking no ads, No, I'm not taking ads. I'm not putting up the ads. In times of crisis, leadership do matter. When you do not have selfish and self-centered leaders, then the people feel a little more at ease, even though some of them, and brother, let me just say to those of you, right? Let me say to those of you who are afraid, you are only human. I can tell you don't be afraid because I have my citizenship and all kind of story or green card. And by the way, a green card, I'll tell you what a green card is. A green card is just a green card is just a step up from a regular visa, you know. Do you know that? That you get a little more benefits and leeway to travel. When you go out of your country on a green card and you come back in, the United States government, the immigration officer can say to you, ain't coming back in. They can pull you in and say, what's going on here? Yeah. That's why if you have a green card and you have had a green card all your life, you should have already stepped that thing up to your citizenship. Now there's a pause on all applications. Were you minding your business? The possibility is low. There's a strong possibility that you were minding other people's business. And you would have been minding people's business who have already established themselves. Reverend, you got to be careful when you're walking with people who have a different shoe. When we were young boys and we were in Kingston, we were running, jumping on people's mango tree. I used to go with the slippers on my foot. They used to go with shoes. When they fly down the road, I still behind the slipper holding me back. You can't run the same race with people who have different equipment on. You can't be going to parties and just drinking, getting yourself in trouble, driving without license, and then you brethren, laws are laws. Whether it's in St. Lucia, whether it's in the United States, around the world, laws are laws. The Bible says, render unto Caesar the things of the Caesars. And I blame no one for wanting to stay in the United States. Now, a lot of people started without documents. And they mind their business and they work towards that goal. God bless them. And I said it, we have a lot of good people that we got to pray for. We got to hope for the best. And I know some of you are frustrated with some of those people who keep telling you that everything is good in the country. I know some of you are frustrated with them. And I know those of you are frustrated with the ones who are insulting and cussing you off. I know that you guys are frustrated with them. And some of you wish that they would get sent back home so that they can face Philip J. Perry. I know how you folks are thinking. Some of these people have families too. Of course. Now I'm different. I'll take a different approach. Whether I support Trump's deportation or not, where Trump do what he do, people will end up in St. Lucia under the leadership of Trump. Of Tropical Trump, Mr. Perry. I don't even understand why the Prime Minister of Trinidad had called Mr. Shastny Tropical Trump, because he's nothing like Tropical Trump. The other guy more resembles Tropical Trump. Of course, and I think that makes a lot of sense to me. They just move on emotions and they just want to do things to spite and to jab, and they don't even care about the consequences down the road. It's only a Tropical Trump, by the way, would downsize the airport and tell you, I never knew airport had upstairs and downstairs. It is only a Tropical Trump would do that. It is only a Tropical Trump would expose your documents on social media as government. So we've had this whole thing upside down, but that's a different story. Let's just discuss this whole immigration issue that is before us. I want to remind you, St. Lucians, of this press conference today again.
Tell us the numbers. How many? Immigration of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
And by the way, the Prime Minister of Trinidad, he's a Tropical Trump too, because he can't take the pressure gone. Yeah? Can't take the pressure, can't deal with the crime situation there. Don't listen like to insult people. Don't listen, that's Trump. Trump likes to insult. He likes to insult. He likes to jab. To jab is all about him. If it's not about him, I can just kiss them. And the whole evangelical movement follows after the beast, wanders after the beast, and surrender their power to him. I saw evangelical leaders talking in tongues around Trump, buying out his Bibles. A man who don't care a hoot about Christianity. And the whole evangelical movement jumping behind him. He's the God sent, God anointed. Millions of families are facing uncertainty and are living in fear. A matter of fact, I would almost say to you, as a good guess, that lives will be lost. Sadly. People who depend on federal aid, not only here in the United States, but in developing states, programs to eradicate hunger, school feeding programs. A Republican governor said today, well, the children need to work. They need to go and work. Careless, heartless. And if you St. Lucians don't use your brain and look at your country and see what, you got to listen to politicians, watch what they're doing. First of all, the man tell you can just, the first time he ran for office, the man tell you, I can just hold these women and just kiss them and they let you do it. Most of the women came forward. You know what the evangelicals say to us? Well, we didn't come here to elect a pastor, you know. yeah. Can you imagine? I'm going to open the phone line. I need to hear from you, St. Lucians. I want you to call in. Tell me how you feel. If you're scared, if you're not scared, tell me what's going on your mind. 929-586-1821. The lines are open right now. I know, Cozy. And I still have some slides that came in. I have a lawyer friend who will be coming on to give some updates. I believe sometime this weekend or next week. And we also have Dr. Powell, who's an advisor to the government of St. Kitts and Nevis from Washington, will be joining us. We're going to look at the impact of these deportations to the developing nations in the region. So Dr. Powell is going to be discussing, and it's going to be a series of discussion he will be having on this platform. First, he's going to look at the impact of mass deportation to the region, crime, the impact of crime, and he's going to also look at energy independence. And that's a discussion that Dr. Powell and myself had last week, when we had a conversation on the phone. And, he was speaking about the Caribbean, having their own fuel supplies and everything else, and not having to depend on these superpowers, trying to be, as much reliant on yourself as you can and not dependent on America for handout. Because clearly, if you have a madman as you're coming in as your president at any time, all can fall down. Your whole cow can never be born at some point, if that's a word. But my encouragement, right, and let me just pull this up for you. This I got from a religious organization, and that is for us to empower the citizens. So while we wait for our calls, the system is on. While we wait for our calls, let's do this. Okay, we have a call coming in, but we let's accept that call. Or it went off, it will come back in. Let me just do this. Oh, it's there. I don't know what's going on here, but bear with me. Caribbean American News Media Platform. Caller, you're on the air.
Yes, interesting topic discussion about Trump.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Talk to me. Mm-hmm.
My thing about this deportation is every country in the world has a border.
Yeah.
And they have what we call rules and regulations. Because a lot of us in the Caribbean, that's why the Caribbean is the way it is, because we are very laid back. Rules don't apply to us.
Mm-hmm.
As far as we're concerned, everything is everything. So we leave those bad habits. We go to America and we do the same thing that we do here in the Caribbean, and we think that we're going to get away with it. One of those things is that we just look at our thing and we pee everywhere. We don't look for bathrooms, we don't look for things, and we go in the subways, we do the same things, and we find ourselves in trouble. Now, as far as I'm concerned, Trump is doing what he got a mandate to do. I don't see why we have a problem with that. Why you want to go to the States illegally, right? Just go there, burn your visa, stay there, work. Now think about if somebody do that to your country, which is St. Lucia, St. Vincent, Dominica, wherever it is. I remember in the 90s, we had an influx of Guyanese coming to St. Lucia, right? And St. Lucians were like, oh boy, we have so many Guyanese coming. And, there was this loud talk about Guyanese coming. But when you look at the Guyanese back then in the 90s, they were qualified people. Yeah. They were teachers. They were coming to do some of the work that our St. Lucians at the time were not qualified to do. And yet we were crying, boys, Guyanese coming and pick our work and all kind of things. It's the same thing now we see today in the States. Biden has opened the doors. All kind of people coming in, criminals, you name it, coming in. And
so you believe Biden? So you believe Biden opened the door?
Yeah, Biden just allowed everybody to come in.
So all these non-documented people came in under Biden?
A lot of them came in under Biden. Millions. We're talking about probably 11 or 12 million or more came in because he just allowed everybody to come in for the southern border.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that 100%. I know a lot of undocumented came over the border during his time, but he was very humane in his approach in dealing with them, because you had rape victims, you had people fleeing from murder, afraid for their life, children, people were dying on their way there, and the man was doing this humanely,
Yeah, but there is a way you do these things. You don't just open the border to everyone, all countries come in.
I don't believe in open borders. I don't believe in open borders.
He had opened the border completely. People just come in there and send a poster for them, and then bring them in hotels. I mean, you know what pissed off the black Americans? They are saying that Biden opened and giving lodging, hotel accommodation, room, boarding, food, and veterans, persons who work hard in America, pay their taxes. They ain't even getting that kind of treatment.
Yeah, because I used to. So I will tell you, caller, I had that issue last year when I witnessed for myself the amount of Spanish migrants who took over the streets of New York. I remember I was driving from church at night, and I passed through a shortcut in Brooklyn, and I saw a massive container. In that container, you had immigrants sleeping in a container with young children. They're all on the side of the roads. And I went to the church to get supplies. Folks, by the time I got there, guess what? The NYPD came to remove these people. So I had a problem with that. It was a burden for New York.
I think that this new thing there, for Americans, especially the Democrats, the do-nothing Democrats, it will be a problem for them because right now they're not used to all these people going back, almost on a daily basis.
So let me ask you, so you support the Trump administration?
Let me tell you, not even 100%, 200%.
You do?
Yes. I'm a conservative. All the Trump ideas, they're conservative ideas.
Yeah.
America first.
To just scare people, run them up, whether they're legal or not. Scare the families, separate families.
That is, you see, you're spreading the same propaganda that CNN and CBS and all of them are spreading.
So that is propaganda to you?
If you listen to the White House said, listen, if you are here legally, you don't have it. Why should you worry?
So I guess the soldier who was legally here, who was arrested at gunpoint, I guess he was the exception to the rule.
If they have brushing, listen to me. As far as I'm concerned, if you leave your country, come in another country, you have to respect the laws of that country. You don't come to somebody else's home and disrespect them and do what is as you please. This is a country of laws. That's why I'm telling you, these countries, they're lawless. So when they come with their bad habits, they come to America and they want to do the same thing that they were doing back home. If you want to do the same thing when you come there, stay where you are.
So you're a conservative, right? Let me ask you,
absolutely.
What party do you support in St. Lucia, if you wouldn't mind?
I'm a UWP here because the UWP and the conservatives are the same.
You think the United Workers' Party, conservatism, and that of Donald Trump, Republican, is the same?
So you haven't recognized my voice yet? I'm half a Jean.
My friend, my buddy. No, I have my earphone is kind of muffled sometimes, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm saying this sound like my friend.
But you have to be serious at some point. If you allow all these people to come in, right? These people are going to be a burden on the economy. What are they going to do? What skill set they have? What are you going to do with all these people? They're competing with you. They're competing with everybody else who's not, and they're not legal. They don't speak English. Some of them speak Spanish. That is not even really the problem. The problem is you don't know where these people are coming from.
No, I agree with you, Arthur, as a conservative person. When I first came to the United States, I was supporting the Republican Party, and I agree with you with you just said that you don't know who is in the country, who is living next door to who, could be a hardened criminal, a terrorist, you don't know. And it has a lot to do with national security. I do understand that, and that's why even in St. Lucia, let's go down to St. Lucia, we had a border issue. We had all the radars and the scanners and the engine of the boats that should have been protecting the waterways. All that was down, which was a bridge, and that was down for a long time under the SLP. You know, exposing the country. Our borders were not secured.
I've lived in St. Lucia all my life. The honest truth about national security in St. Lucia, for me, under both administrations, have been very lacking. When Kenny came in '97, I think law and order broke down from there in St. Lucia. From my vantage point.
Yeah.
And less emphasis was placed on law and order. The police, the budget was slashed. The police never got new recruits.
That was under Kenny Anthony, right? You said 1997.
It started from Kenny 1997.
Okay.
That's a subject I've had with him personally, one-on-one.
Okay, good.
I've had that subject with him. And I'm going to have it with him again when I meet him again. Very soon.
Okay.
Lawlessness and breakdown of law and order started there. Then coming down to where we are now. Successive governments have not placed adequate resources to the police. Every time the police cry out, they need whatever it is that they need. They give them vehicles, and they establish a few police stations, and that's it. They never embark on proper equipment, proper courts. I mean, if you go to the courts, these courts look like something in Africa in the 40s, you know. The actual setting of our courtroom. They are normally a town hall in a community, and they transform it with hard benches. You just see that where the magistrate sits, her desk full of pool bois, she has a fan blowing on her. I mean, it is a setting from the 1940s.
And that's why Mr. Shastney wanted to do a halls of justice, to facilitate the, these new courtrooms, in the country, and we heard the criticism. Also, we saw the communication issue with policemen when it comes to hand radios. Police were using the private phone sometimes. They have no capability of communicating with each other. No computer system on their vehicles where they can stop a vehicle and just jump on a computer and pull up some basic information.
But you know, it's convenient. It's convenient that they don't have these things. You don't think they can buy them? These things are not that expensive to get.
No.
It is because I believe successive governments like to retard the police. So they themselves.
So you believe it's a deliberate?
Slip the hands of the law. But that's what it is.
Because I think Alan Chastney, not to be biased, I think Mr. Chastney had a vision for the for policing.
Listen, if you look at the state of the police force today, where they are today, you can't say it's SLP or you can't say it's just the sitting government alone. This thing has been for way back. If you look at a policeman, look at a policeman in 2025. Just look at him as the physical policeman. He's just 2 hands swinging. He has nothing on him. Just his uniform, his belt, his suit, and he's just around. Sometimes you see them with a thing with a ticket. Now you see them with the ticket thing. So it begs me to see.
So they don't have baton anymore?
No, these fellas don't walk with baton since the 80s. They don't walk with baton anymore. You'll find maybe a sergeant would walk with his cane, or the inspector will walk with his cane. But other than that, the ordinary constable or corporal, these fellas walk around with their 2 hands swinging. And that's it. Now, it begs me because the politicians, whether it be UWP or SLP, they travel. They go to the state, they go around, and they see modern day police, what the modern day policeman looks like. And still, they come back to St. Lucia, and you have our police looking like some guys in Ghana in the 40s. So, I mean, it tells you, I mean, look at the halls of justice situation. These SLP fellas say they're going to put it in town. Listen to me, you know my position on the halls of justice? I do not care where they put it. Once we have one, because one is overdue. They can put it at Monjimi for me alone. So the question of where it is not an issue to me at all. People are, we the opposition crying about the thing, they put it in the middle of town, no parking. Rubbish.
No, I don't think it's rubbish. I think it's I think they're right. That's not the right place for that when you look at developing castries.
Where's the right place?
Right where it was going to be by the barracks. But that's why he brought down custody suite. Huh?
If custody suite is there, they want to put the Hall of Justice.
Yeah, that's the ideal place for that.
Yeah, but there's still no parking.
Or cul-de-sac would have been the ideal place too.
Listen, I don't even at this point. I don't even care where they put it. Anywhere from me. Once you get a Hall of Justice, because the Hall of Justice is way overdue.
Yeah.
Way overdue, Oliver.
Yeah.
And successive governments have always been talking about it. Can you imagine in 2025 we're talking about the Hall of Justice? 2025.
Well, we're still talking about an airport.
That should have been built in the 80s.
Yeah, well, like
so
every...
For all these years, we've just been saying lip service to justice in this country.
Yeah, and right...
That's why I tell you, when commissions tell you, listen, we have lost faith in politicians, whether it be SLP or UWP. You have to be objective and understand where they're coming from. Because they have failed us. They have failed us. I mean, you have to get serious. When you tell me law and order, no government cares about law and order, whether it be SLP or UWP. It is clear because they have never paid attention to proper policing in St. Lucia to make sure that we have the requisite numbers in the police force. You know today how many numbers? We have 190, almost 200,000 people in St. Lucia. How many policemen we have? And we said we're serious about law and order.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to. Well, I would say that you're wrong on a lot of stuff that you said. But I think the Alan Chastney administration did their best. They were on their way of modernizing the police force, and their head was in the right place with modern day policing. and then our justice system, which needed a much broader overhaul. Pardon me? Maybe a year ago or so.
A year ago. Have you seen what a policeman, a St. Lucian policeman looks like?
Yeah, my brother is one, so I know what he looks like.
What rank is he? Is he a constable? What is he?
Well, he's a constable.
All right. He's a constable. He walks around with nothing in his hand, nothing on his side.
Not true. He walks around. No, he walks around with something on his side and something on the other side.
Maybe phone.
Well, a phone and a gun. I know my brother. He's based on where he works. Then he's very much a professional, and he's equipped, to deal. But thank you. I see some other folks trying to get into the line. They're calling me on the other phone on this one. So thank you so much, Arthur, and I appreciate your call tonight. All right, brother.
At times we have to be objective.
Listen to me. I am a UWP, and
we have to be objective for the country's sake. We have to be.
Okay.
So that things can change.
Well, the truth is the truth, huh? Okay, brother. Take care. Blessings. Yeah. Folks, the lines are open. 929-586-1821. You're welcome to call at this time. 929-586-1821. Please call. Let me know what somebody's trying to call me on the other line, the private line. That's not going to be connecting in a hurry. All right, so you have to call me on the 929 number. Caller, you're on the air. Caribbean American News. Ian, I heard that you're on the list. Talk to me.
Yeah, I had to make a disclaimer because I version myself, our voice kind of sound very similar. So,
but I heard that you're on the you're one of the 202 on the list.
No. I'm very much legal in the United States of America. For the Labour Party have to keep spreading this misinformation and half truths and attempt to try to embarrass me politically. I have news for you. I can work anywhere in any part of the United States, not having to fear ICE, because I'm a legal citizen of the United States of America.
Not a green card holder. And by the way, folks, I can testify to what Ian is saying here as a minister of the gospel. That is the gospel truth. Go ahead.
Correct.
Go ahead, my brother. Yeah.
I exercised my democratic right in November to vote.
Yes, and I was excited about it. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. Mm-hmm. But anyway, moving forward, there's certain things that Arthur just said. He was my friend, and I kind of want to differ with him on a few issues. And when he talk about what we see there, which is very serious people, the mass deportation of so many persons, I am a law-abiding citizen. I conform with the laws of any country. And so I would employ any person or any individual when you reside in your country or elsewhere to abide by the law. However, there are peculiar circumstances that must kick in. For example, you come to the United States or Canada or any country for that matter, and chances are you may not get yourself regularized immigration-wise or status-wise. Yeah. And you find yourself in a peculiar situation. Yeah. What you jump in immediately is the humanitarian side of things. Yeah. I mean, some of those persons that I knew, even St. Lucian, to hit home, they pay taxes, they contribute, they contribute to the American economy, they work, they pay taxes. Yeah. You can get what they call an IT number where you can still pay taxes, and they do that.
Yes. And I know, Ian, a lot of people who do that, they're good citizens. They help their family back home. They send their kids to school. They maintain their families. They respect the laws here in the country. It's just that they're out of status, some of them. Out of status.
Yeah, so it really breaks my heart to see what's happening. And, there's a ripple effect. And we have to be very mindful. Is our country ready for this kind of mass deportation? Is St. Lucia ready for the kind of mass deportation that we will experience.
Yeah, and that's the question now.
If you listen to the border Tim Homan, he said that is just the beginning. It's going to get bigger.
Yeah.
So there's going to be a mass extension of deportation. And is our country ready for that?
I have a friend of mine from Washington, Ian.
Ready for that?
I have a friend of mine who have connections in Washington. And what I'm hearing is that Trump is about to send more enforcement officers into the sanctuary states, those who have laws to protect undocumented. He's going to be sending more. So in the next few days, they're going to be ramping this pressure up in this place. And it's kind of scary for true. And I feel the pain of those who are not documented. That's to tell you the truth.
Yeah, because you see, there's no need to rejoice or to gloat about this thing. You know, families will be separated, sadly.
Yeah.
And it just breaks my heart that it has to end up like that.
Yeah.
But is that the bigger question is Brother Garfield, is our country ready? Is St. Lucia ready for that? This is like similar to not downplaying COVID-19 and the impact that it had on the world's economy and St. Lucia's economy, but it falls in line with the COVID-19 pandemic. When all these people have been deported, sadly, into St. Lucia, is this incompetent, waste of time Labour Party government prepared for that? By now, like you rightly said, and I agree with you, they should have had education, they should have had meetings with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, should have convened meetings, the National Security Minister, to discuss and strategize. You do not allow yourself to be caught with your pants down and then you're scrambling to come up with solutions or mechanisms to curb that pressure. It's going to create already we have a serious crime problem. It's going to affect our country.
But
it's
Ian,
serious business.
I see Minerva Ward, right? She wrote something. She said, I'm not rejoicing of this, but some of the laborers that are busy promoting this government will get to experience the misery of the people at home. And it's true, some of the labor people act like because they're not in St. Lucia on the ground, there's no pain for the poor families, things are good, they can have access to health care. And they were not all that nice, I would say, to the citizens of the country. When the citizens say, look, I can't afford food, they said, oh, my government is in power, I can't afford the hospital to get health care. Oh, yeah, government, everything is good. And they were not, honestly, they were not empathetic to those cries. You know, there's a lady who died in St. Lucia because of lack of health care. She had this thing on her face growing. And right now, I got to start next week to invite people to help donate so that we can assist in the burial of the lady. You know, so when people like those families and the lady cry out and say, look, I can't have access, and you in the diaspora just saying, yeah, and cussing their mother and this and that and that. Come on, sometimes the Lord permitted that you experience the same thing in your country that you're saying was okay, but go ahead.
And you see, again, so there is a social impact with our current situation. Already we have a terrible crime situation, and this Labour Party government cannot put together a grip on the crime situation. And there's also the health issue. Already we have a lousy healthcare system.
Oh boy.
People have to wait. We're waiting 40 hours on a plastic chair to get medical attention. Could you imagine the impact when we have an influx of those deportees into our country? That is serious. That is sad and scary.
Yeah.
And you made a point, Brother Garfield, not being political, but it's a valid point, and we have to think deeper and deeper about it.
Yeah.
That we have the wrong prime minister dealing with that eventuality, I call it, called Philip JP. We have the wrong prime minister for that situation.
Brother.
You know, Alan Chasney, thank God, when the pandemic came about, he was prime minister and he managed this thing brilliantly.
Like a boss.
To the point where other countries envied the things that he did, the protocols that he put in place. This is another version, not downplaying COVID-19, like I said, but this is another version of what you can call a pandemic.
It is a pandemic.
Where we have all those mass deportations into those small island countries And what are the governments doing to remedy that situation?
But Ian, sorry not to interrupt you, but not only just mass deportation. You're talking about deportation of hardened criminals. You know, some of them don't even know St. Lucia.
Yeah, but anyway, Brother Garfield, I have to run. Have a blessed night.
Okay, take care, brother. Blessings. So, folks, the lines are open at 929-586-1821. That was Ian. And all contributions are welcome on the platform. I would love to hear from you. Are we really prepared for mass deportation of not only undocumented people, but those who are hardened criminals? Can our police system, our court system, can St. Lucia manage? We have some little boys walking around the place 6 and 7. We can't even deal with them. Can we deal with hardened, sophisticated criminals? Organizing criminal network in the region? Yeah? Can we deal as a nation? That's the question. 929-586-1821. And don't even talk about crumbling our medical system that most of you would say it is broken. You know, it's quasi, if that's the word. So 929-586-1821 is the number. Yes, it is 929-586-1821. Yes, we have a call coming in now. Caller, you on the Air Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Good evening, Brother Garfield. How are you?
Concerned. Greetings, my friends. Welcome.
Good evening to everyone.
Yes. What's on your mind tonight? Thank you.
Well, living in St. Lucia, I can tell everyone and anyone that St. Lucia is not prepared. We keep asking the question, is St. Lucia prepared for mass deportation? It is obvious that St. Lucia is unprepared for a mass deportation because all our sectors are broken. Every sector in this island is broken. The health sector is broken. Our infrastructure is not saying anything. Schools, we don't even have enough teachers. High schools are that. Everything, the road network is a mess. The whole East Coast is the whole West Coast, is a mess. You create an entire road and then an entire East Coast that winds, West Coast that winds up and down, up and around. The road that takes people to the pitons, the driving volcano. You create this entire road and then you're going to start working on it. Does that make sense? I mean, everything is being done back to front in St. Lucia. So we are not ready. We are ill-prepared for a mass deportation in St. Lucia. It is going to be chaotic.
And by the way,
especially if they come in thousands.
And especially, my concern, as I said, is the criminals that will be deported to these countries. Trump don't want them. And by the way, let me just share this with you, my viewers, while my call is online. Just give me a minute of your time. Trump is asking over 2 million federal workers to resign. I'm going to repeat this. Folks, this represents end-time events that was spoken of. This sounds like something of biblical proportion. Trump is requesting that 2 million federal workers resign. He will give them packages. He will pay them off. But he's asking 2 million workers of the federal government to resign. Think about what is coming, my friends. What is coming? Not only to the United States, but to the smaller countries. Go ahead, caller.
Having said this, and having said that everything is broken here, on making suggestions that our government should prepare and whatnot, we have a reactive prime minister. So you tell him, you complain that there's a big pothole in the middle of the road, and a couple of days later you see a backhoe and some fellas dropping some sand or soil or something in there trying to block it up. So you'll probably see him coming out and making a statement on that in the next week or two, because we've spoken about it tonight and we're speaking of it. And somebody, of course, they're listening, they will react. However, they can't even get the system in the health sector in order, in the hospitals in order, in the health centers in order. Do you think they can't even get the crime rate under control? Do we think that they can really prepare for mass deportation? I don't think so. I think it's just going to be a bit of chaos in St. Lucia. So we as a St. Lucian people, let us all tighten our belts and look to see what's going on. There are no more jobs there. No jobs are being created. Nothing is happening. The crime rate has not gone down. So if we've got hardcore criminals coming to St. Lucia, we should expect more crimes, to be committed. Let's work with each other. So for those who have family who are going to be deported, who do not have homes and stuff, let's just get ourselves ready to, house them and help them. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because we'll have to help them for a period of time. Yeah, we'll have to help them for a period of time until, they can get back on their feet. Also, for those of us who are legal in the country, we too got to step in, because some of these people will need someone to go to the schools to get their children, to go and pack their stuff in their apartments and send home, and they will need help. So I am thinking that we got to put a movement together to see how best we can have a support system for when that happens. And for me, I would volunteer myself to pick up kids and to help out and see how I can, if those kids are St. Lucians, I try to get them over to their families back home. Whatever it is, I am willing, like I always say to the church, I'm always willing to step in. Even my worst enemy, I am willing to step in to help. Go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, we have to help one another. Now, on another note, with Kenson Casimir and him coming out and saying that his private business has been put out in public, may I say to Kenson that any one of us can walk into the land registry and get a copy of any register that we require.
Exactly.
So don't come and act like you're talking to a bunch of fools. Some of us know better, and those of us know better will educate those who do not have no clue of how that operates. You can get any land register that you apply for in St. Lucia by going to the registry, and you can put it out if you want to. It is not a private document. So Kenson, we'll come again and come clean and let us know how you've acquired so much property in such a short space of time on the salary of a minister. We need to know, and you need to declare what you have as well. We're waiting for you to do so.
But let me ask you, caller, do you know who is the contractor doing the back wall at his property? And my question to you is, or the nation or him, is it not that same contractor who got that contract to do that NLA project? I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah, that's right. Let's ask questions there.
I'm just asking. Is it the same contractor?
We don't know.
I don't know.
We want answers.
Yeah,
we want answers. We also want clarity on where all of this NLA money went to. We need responses. You cannot walk into government and feel that a year later, 2 years later, on a minister's salary, you've acquired so much property When
Sorry.
after Gail Riverboom had worked so hard in her lifetime, had bought 2 condos in Cap Estate, and they used that against her. I was very upset about that. Gail had every right, and she was within her rights to buy those condos because she was a professional who had worked for years. Kenson was a news reporter, a sports
Commentator
whatever.
or something?
Yes, or whatever he was. So where did that money come from overnight? We need to know. And if you can't tell us, we don't want you as our rep. You need to go. We need to get rid of you. It is about time that goes where people open their eyes.
Okay.
Anyway, but
Thank you.
let me let somebody else
Yeah,
go.
thank you so much, Carla.
Everybody, just support your families, those who are going to be
Support your
deported,
families, yeah.
etc.
Thank you. And that's the message. Support your family. Stand ready to aid your family. Some of these people have been sending support barrels and stuff for you, helping you when you were down. So please try to help. But I saw Anson is under the live, and he's coming under a lot of ammunition from my viewers are not eating dasheen. I see many people said next Christmas there will be no dasheen in the snow for Anson. He will be taking dasheen in my I take that phone. Somebody take that phone from anyone because I don't know why she did that to Anson. I know they're just playing around over there, but Mama, I hope Anson can take that plot because you know every time you hear Anson, Shasti. Anson got mentored properly by Buddy. You know, everything is Shasta. All I can tell the people of St. Lucia is that, and the people of the United States is that, Mr. Shasta, is that your problem? Right now, again, we got to mind our business. And our business, friends, is ensuring that we identify people who can either hold your money, add somebody else on your bank account, get another name on the list at your school for pickup. You got to do, you got to do what you got to do to put yourself in order together, friends, because it's not going to be an easy road. And I'm sorry, honestly, my biggest concern, apart from the innocent, when I say innocent, people who, went to the country to have a better life and, did not get their documents situated, or some people started getting their documents in order, things crashed, things got messed up, and, they had to start all over again, and everything is upside down, topsy-turvy now. My heart goes out to you, and I mean, what can I say? God is the ultimate judge, and I think this is a moment of reset. This is a moment of reflection. It is a moment of reflection for our Caribbean people who are living in the diaspora, who are undocumented. For me, I believe this is my father's world. Yes, there are laws that governs travels and all those things, but please, what can I say, friends? But folks, let me tell you, see, Anson can talk all what he wants about Chasney. That ain't moving a skin from Chasney, not making Chasney blacker, whiter, pinker, or yellower. Chasney will maintain his integrity as a decent family man, a decent citizen of the country, and there is absolutely nothing that Anson would be able to say about Mr. Chasney that will even move a grain of hair or strand of hair from his head. The man will continue to hold his integrity as a former prime minister, as the present opposition leader, as the political leader of the United Workers' Party, as a family man, one who loves his family, one who loves his country, one whose family have contributed to the development of St. Lucia. Anson will continue to talk, and that will not affect the track record of Mr. Chasney. And I'm not saying Mr. Chasney is the perfect person, but if I was Anson, I would pay a little more attention to Buddy and some of the Kenson and some of the other folks there, in his party. And if I was answering to, I would look at that fight that is developing between Joachim Henry and this young lady who's believes she's running out of time and would just do everything in her power to run that seat. Even though Joachim said he's running the seat, she's going to continue to push. And you can see her agenda. She's moving on the ground and she's trying to build influence. But if you have respect for the guy and you hear the guy say he's going, I want Joachim to run again because I want Mr. Guy Joseph to give him a flogging at the polls. That will make my day. So I want him to run, and I'm asking Lisa to step aside, please, and allow Mr. Joachim to run. He's still strong. He's in good health, and he has no issues as far as I'm concerned. Let the man run. You know, Lisa, you stay out of it for now and let the man run. You know, your turn will come after Guy beat him. You will get a time to get yours too. But for now, I would say, you know, you like to mind our business. And I just take this moment to jab y'all. You know, y'all can take it serious if y'all want, but I'm taking this moment to jab y'all because you guys in our business. You guys in our business a lot, you know. So right now, this is the season of phase out. Mind your business. So I would look at that seat where Joachim want to run and you know, Shelton is giving you song warning. He's saying, guys, be careful. I mean, just wait your turn. It's true. Wait your turn. Your turn will come. Everybody have a turn, you know, wait for yours. But let Joachim run that because I want Guy to just give him a little flogging for me at the polls so that at least I can sleep better at night and I can drink water after that and mind my business. But who is Mia? Why is Mia, folks? So we're still waiting on calls. Somebody's trying to call me, but the person is calling me on the other phone that is not connected to our main system. I'm going to read your messages. We're not on GVD, so I don't have a clock out time. So some of you have to sleep in your country. I have tomorrow I'm off. We have our school closed. School is closed tomorrow. It's the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, tomorrow. So New York State schools are closed for that. So I don't know why Joella don't go to her bed, you know. And why you're really giving Anson pluck, we? Many people say that he will be digging dashing in Denver and not dashing through the snow. What one? And so weapon now. Why is Mia? Anyway, I'm going to read your comments and y'all are solutions together so y'all can think. Okay, maybe what if there's one thing I believe in karma, answer must be voices. Answer Zakafet. Wait, answer run gone already? Guy will both Lisa and Henry a good lesson. No more lying on Guy. Yeah. Well, I think there's a little issue there where she wants to run, and it's very clear that she wants to, and Joachim is not ready to hand in the towels. But you know, I'm sure the party would level that off and fix that internally and present to us the names of those that will be challenging. Yeah. So if we have no calls at this time, it is 9:36 here. It's about 10:36. I don't believe in you going to sleep late, especially those of you in the Caribbean. I honestly don't believe that you should be going to bed late. But those of you who want to stay around for a little more fun, I've given you 5 more minutes. But I beg you all to have mercy. Dr. Fletcher, I wonder what you will do when he wins and you are here in St. Lucia. Take care. You have to give. Well, my prediction is that if Anson decides to go back home tomorrow, that he will, or in the next election, he will be under the leadership of the Honorable Alan Chastney. And he will be under my leadership too. As the ambassador to Denry. So if I was answering, I start speaking better about the next prime minister, because it is what it is. Yeah. I'm just trying to read your comments, folks. Allison, you have to call me on 995861821. You've been calling me on the other number. Yeah, the other number is not connected to the old system. It's 99586. So I'm going to wait for you. 995861821. You've been calling the wrong number. Yeah. And to say over and out, that's enough of the failing flower party. I only hope that I feed your hunger and quench your thirst. That's where you go. Wait till I answer. Oh boy, I have to give my friend Bernard Haynes a call. So we're just waiting for one more call, and that is from my friend. That's 929-586-18 to run. But let's just keep our folks in prayer, folks, and hope for the best. Yeah. Folks, even me too. I got to be concerned about ICE, I'll tell the truth, because first of all, if they come into the place, then you got to identify yourself. And there are times I leave my ID in the car, or I leave it, and stuff. So I would and if as a traffic stop, I can encounter them. So all of us can encounter them. Oh, the call is not going through. Are you calling me on a regular? Let me see if I can pull you in, Allison. I think you're calling me on the regular line. That's why. But let me warn the folks too. Before I pull over Allison, I will warn people too. You see, when you mess with innocent people, when you shed innocent blood, when you spread rumors and lies on people, let me tell you something. That thing turns back and give you a whiplash. No, it's true, and that's why I'm very careful in messing with people. And if I mess and you tell me, look, you messed me up, whatever, I will quickly apologize and make things clean. But I am not, my intention is not to be malicious. No, I honestly don't want to. Innocent blood is a very serious thing, The Bible speaks of shedding innocent blood. It also speaks of besmirching people's character, especially with lies or misinformation. So I would say, folks, be very careful what you say about people. God is not dead, and he doesn't sleep or slumber. All right, so I'm just trying to pull my friend in. I'm trying to locate the number on our system here. It looks like the system had a reset. It looked like the system had a reset. Bear with me, folks. I don't want to call the wrong person. I think we had a reset. Maybe that's why some people said they were called. Okay. They were calling me and they couldn't get me on this main line. Okay. Let's see if it's going to work. Oh, yeah, it works. Yeah. Yes.
Good evening.
You were calling me on a different number.
Hello.
I think it's Philip Japet you were calling, not me.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Can you hear me? Hello, Caribbean American News Media.
Hello.
Yes, my friend, can you go ahead? Okay, let's reconnect. We have an issue there, all right? We're hearing Caribbean American News. Hi, friend. How are you? Hello? Hello? Hello, can you hear me? You can go ahead with your contribution if you're listening from another device. I think I can't.
Good evening.
Good evening. Go ahead. Okay, we're going to try to connect again. But I think it's something on her end, not on mine. This way.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me now? No, we having an issue. Can you hear me now? Hello? Okay, all the lights are popping up.
Good evening, Pastor Garfield.
Yes, how are you? Wow. No, Pastor Turner. But everything on the system is lighting up. So I don't know what is going on there. Everything on the system is lighting up. Everything is showing clear, but I don't know. Okay. Brother Peter, how are you? Peter Chico, I really need to hear Peter Chico's. Yeah, she could have just go ahead with. Yeah, because it's a while up. I have to try and get onto Peter, but I keep getting busy. When if I want a really troubling answer, she said, "Lash up, no, Beth, to welcome him home." Why you think Anson is gonna go home? Anson said he has his documents. Okay, let's take this call. Call you on the air, Caribbean American News Media Platform.
Good evening.
Hey, good evening. Can you hear me? We're having the same issue. Somebody said, Garfield, you hear Oswald Augustine say he's the voice of the people? Of course, he can be the voice of the people. Everybody can be the voice of the people. Yeah. I don't know him very well, but I knew he was part of the United Workers Party. I sent him some time ago Happy New Year because I saw him on the thing and I recognized the name on the system. But if he says he's the voice of the people, then we need more voices. I normally go through the News Spin broadcast late at night because I cannot view it live anymore, except for God's willing tomorrow I can view it live, but I cannot view it live because of what I do now. Yeah. Do you know my earpiece is picking up some kind of frequency from somewhere? I hope nobody's trying to hack the system, but I'm hearing people coming through my earpiece, and that's not even normal. Okay, so Alison is typing. So what I can do is to disconnect. No, I wouldn't disconnect because I want to keep the number open. Let's take one more call, 929-586-1821. One more call, and then we will call it a night. And folks, I heard that there will be, I'm not sure, I heard that there will be a United Workers Party convention this year. And so those of you who like to travel, it's time to... Yes, Alison, I think the problem is on your end. I'm hearing stuff through my system, through my ear. Okay, friends, I know, and by the way, Anson know that you guys are going to come at him because you always talk about our leader. He always talk about our leader. When I talk to Anson, I always tell him, leave my leader alone, leave Mr. Shastry alone. He's a decent man. Yeah, I'm hearing stuff coming through my earpiece, and I don't know why. Calling you on the air, Caribbean American News Media.
Good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Allison. You can talk. Go ahead. She really wants to sing, but it's not coming through. It's her problem. I don't know what's going on with mine. My hairpiece. Oh, I have 9 to 1. Oh, no. It is. Oh, I see there. There's an issue on the. Oh. Joe, let's say Ice is looking for me. Like, and I have a whole set of ice in the fridge, you know, so. I have a whole set of ice there, man. Oh, so it's 9 to 9. The number is 929-586-1821. So there's a problem on the, what you call the lower third. The lower third. So I'm going to change that lower third, God's willing, tomorrow. Yeah, the federal government monitored me. Oh, I have some news concerning our platform, Caribbean American News. And we do apologize for the GVD channel. We had an issue on a phone issue with the technician. And so we were not able to effectively communicate. But I just got some communication. They will try to rectify it. So we have some news concerning Caribbean American News Media. Last night, our lawyers finally decided that we were going to register a media house here in the United States. So this Caribbean American News, it's an official tag. The name has been secured and protected, and also it is registered here in the United States as a media house. All right, it registered at a media house. Yep. So that's the good news. All right, so folks, I'm going to allow you to go because I've been waiting for this call, but I'm sorry I didn't get it. So folks, we look forward. I don't know why this happened. Somebody said that they sent the hack to sabotage the show, but I got to step up on my security. So, a security company called me, one of the online security companies, and they said, "Did you have a problem with your system last week?" And I said, "Not that I know of." And they said to me, "Well, we're investigating something on your system. We're investigating some bridge or something on the platform." People try a lot of stuff, friends, but my system is difficult. My system is very difficult. My system is very difficult to manage or to break into. So the company called and they said, there was an attempt on the system, and we're investigating and we'll send you a report. So, but this is all in preparation for the campaign season. Somebody said 1 more hour. 1 more hour. It's my only day off tomorrow, and I get to sleep later. So Oh, somebody's saying they're hearing me on 2 different frequency. I don't know what is happening. I think we were hacked to something, folks. Let me just... Are you folks okay on the line? Are you hearing me clearly? Because I think there is an issue. No, man, and it's not that technical. I don't know. But somebody wanted an extra hour. I can't. I burned the midnight oil. I'm not a morning person, but from the time I started this new position, I've had to get up early in the morning and shovel some hot something down my throat and, you know, get prepared and head to school before 8 o'clock. The good news is that I work just 14 minutes away from the house. So I can take a bicycle. Or I can take the, I can just run over. Okay, so they're saying they heard me loud and clear on the platform. Loud and clear. So for those of you who are, and don't tell me, right? If you are not documented, don't tell people your business. Nobody needs to know whether you are legal or not legal. All right? Please, I beg you. Thank you, everybody, for Swazel. Everybody's confirming their hearing. Crystal clear. I take my advice. Don't tell anybody except you're clearing the air on your position, on your status. Don't. Yeah, I can basically walk to work. Don't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone your personal business, and that's just a fact. People, they will use it against you, and you don't know who is who. Keep it to yourself. Yeah, and God forbid. Whenever, you know why? Because once answer shows up, everybody gets excited. And I saw these people, they're enjoying the idea that you're telling answer that he's going to be dashing. No dashing through the snow. That one is funny. Well, answer is good. Yeah, man, God is good. But don't tell anyone your business. If you get deported back to your country, it is your country. Enjoy your country. All right? Call you on the air. Can you hear me?
Good evening.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
It's the same way.
Same problem, right? Yeah. You know, Allison really wants to to come on the platform, but I know Allison is burning to say something. But, folks, you go back to your country. God permitted that you go back. Listen to me. Get back to know your culture. Get to know your family, your people. Spend time, enjoying yourself. Some of you who were insulting people will have to deal with a bad healthcare system, bad roads. You'll have to deal with high prices at the supermarket. You'll have to deal, some of you, with the cost of living, the salaries, and there are things that we speak about on the platform. Some of you will go to communities after many years, and you would want to know if anything has really changed in those communities. Some of you will go and want to know, is there a district rep? So it's just a matter of you adjusting and learning some of life lessons the hard way. Call you on the air. Caribbean American News.
I'm just going to talk fast for Garfield.
Go ahead.
I'm not hating you, but I'll just see what I'm saying. That one is for Anson. Anson needs to know that he has been ridiculing God for the past 4 years. right? I have seen that man curse God, and he proclaimed to be a gospel person or a believer of Christ, and acting so ridiculous, mocking God, swearing on his social media pages. It's like God doesn't exist in Anson Maxwell life. I have watched him. For a man that say he carries a Bible, and for him to be ridiculing God the way that he is, I am not surprised if he will be one of the first that Trump deport. I am not surprised. Because when you see these people say that they believe in God and they're believers of God, and to see the way they behavior and they mocking and ridiculing God's word. Sayo hen, kite your point. Take note on Joachim Henry. He used to go to church with 12 Bibles, songbooks, and all under his arm. And look at where God put him today. Anson Owen is not far from coming. So let that rest there. Let him go crazy, mad, whatever. Let God deal with him accordingly. That's for him. For him doing all what he did there for the Labour Party. Literally turn his back on God's word. Doing nonsense for the Labour Party. Next page. You had a gentleman that called there earlier on saying about St. Lucia and the police force. I want St. Lucians to understand what that is taking place in this country. Since after the death of Sir John, we have not gotten a political leader in St. Lucia to handle the affairs of our country, to make our country prosper for everyone, for every citizen. We are going on to 30 years now. The last election we had there in 2021, I keep telling you all that God bless us with a leader. He brought Mr. Shastney for us to see the difference in the political leadership that we have been seeing in St. Lucia for the past 30 years. It's not politics as usual. That's a different game that is going on there. It's a spiritual game. Okay? And when Mr. Shastney was appointed, or before he became Prime Minister of St. Lucia, he didn't hide. He wasn't afraid. He didn't lie to us. He came and he spoke to the nation like a leader. And he told us, he went as far as addressing the Caribbean region. He told us it's not working. We are doing it the wrong way in St. Lucia. He told us the sectors in the country, it's not working. And that's why he told us, give him 3 years, he will fix it. Because we had a country that was broken. None of the sectors wasn't working. Kenny, Anthony, and Labour, they couldn't have done anything to help this country grow. Nothing was coming out of St. Lucia. Then Stevenson King came. Yeah. Kenny Anthony never growed our economy. Stevenson King came, I think he did it by under 1% or whatever he did. It didn't work. These people's minds are stagnant. It cannot go beyond the T-boutique level of politics in St. Lucia. So they are trapped in a bubble. They can't see themselves outside of that bubble to take the chances to make our economy grow. They don't know that. They were not gifted with that level of sense or political sense. Your panning. They can jump high, they can jump low. They don't have it in St. Lucia. And so we got Mr. Chasney. We saw all what he did. The caller earlier said that the police force is not functioning, and he spoke about the halls of justice. But it's the same thing Mr. Chasney kept telling us. We didn't have a justice system. We didn't have courtrooms. Under Kenny Anthony, all these things diminished. The little we had, it was functioning before. It wasn't great, but it was there. But under Kenny Anthony, when Kenny Anthony came in, all that went under. This man was just speaking bravado to the people because he had a degree, an education, and fooling the people, making the people feel like, oh, I am thou art holy, almighty, I am the best thing that St. Lucia ever got. But that man, Kenny Anthony, didn't know nothing. He pas même connaître about economics. Ma quoi il te connaît rien. Okay? And so Alan Chasney came and he said we were doing it the wrong way. He told you we needed the justice system fixed. Up to now he's telling us the justice system have been compromised. Is that a lie? No, we have seen it. We have seen all the lawyers. They are all leaning on to the Labour Party organization. Nothing is working. It's just the poor people that is being jailed. The elite getting it good. All that he saw. He saw we needed the infrastructure. He saw we needed policies. That's why they were giving him all that hard time. And the St. Lucians that are now ignorant. Remember, I'm not calling you all stupid. I'm saying to y'all are ignorant. Ignorant of the fact that y'all don't know how things operate. Y'all don't know what it would take a country to progress. Y'all are ignorant in that area. And the Labour Party knows very well that y'all are not knowledgeable of these things. So that is ignorance. Okay? They know y'all don't know. So they are playing on your ignorance to keep y'all in the dark. It's like they just don't want y'all to see the light. They do not want y'all to have nothing good. They don't want y'all to see the light. That is why they said people don't eat roads. When they saw where Mr. Chasney was going, like I said again, Richard Frederick said on his show, he told it to the Labour Party ministers, but the ignorant people, they were watching and they did not understand again because of their lack of knowledge. He told them the amount of policies and work. Another time he cannot say Mr. Chasney. He said the amount of policies and work that Chasney have for this country. If the Labour Party, if you all don't use my hand, you will stay in opposition for infinity. What in that St. Lucians cannot understand? What in that we as a people cannot understand that Mr. Chasney realized that the healthcare wasn't cutting it. He wanted to bring something good for us. He wanted to bring first class to us. That's what he wanted to do, St. Lucian. And he still has that fire burning inside of him. You can see it. The fire inside of him, he wants you, the poor people, to have it better, to get it better. It's you, the poor people. When we go to St. Jude, our families that are perishing. Not one politician you had a family member is at OKEU how do you call the other one? The more you less than OK EU Tapia. We're not hearing the family members going there or themselves. It's you, the taxpayers, you. You all are the ones he's working for to bring prosperity to. And you all have the Labour Party there. Having your you think like that they're God of all gods, they're above everybody, and while you are perishing. The groceries in the supermarket, it's you. It's you, the poor man that is feeling the pinch. It's you. You know how much this gentleman has been speaking and explaining to you all? St. Lucian? You know how much this gentleman has been explaining in detail. And you're so wicked when he tells it to you, you're trying to spin it like Anson Maxwell, like you're going mad. It's just like a satanic behavior. You don't want to hear. You don't want to hear that in the future, when these useless men from the Labour Party retires, you will see the state St. Lucia will be in. It's time for you to brace yourself, St. Lucia, and allow the man to do what is inside of him for the people, for us. Fix our healthcare, fix our education system, fix the justice system. When I hear St. Lucian saying that Mr. Shasta didn't do anything when it comes to the justice system, you all did not give him the chance. He implemented everything. You all saw it, the policies. He did what he had to do. But it's you all again and your foolishness and your ignorance that did not allow what he did to bloom. It's you all. He told you all it's the borders where the guns are coming from. The man told you all that. He didn't hide you all. Because he know that he's not speaking to toddlers. He told you all everything. You're chastising, you're persecuted him for speaking the truth to you all.
Yeah. Can you hear me, my friend?
And today the country is in turmoil like hot lakadi, some of you all, and especially those that call themselves UWPs, they're still there listening to that crap Labour is saying. This weekend I was so saddened when I saw the young children that were involved in all the disaster in Castries City. Again, it brought me back my mind to when Mr. Shate stood up and he said about the young children, the parenting. And that lady by the name of Catherine Sillis came and stumbled down on the man. My God, today we are seeing what is happening to our young children. Whereas if these people had just said, well, okay, he said that is the truth, let us work with him. By now we probably could have curbed these things already. But no, for greed, for money, for the love of money, you'd rather see our young people go down to the ditch. It's true that people have to account for that. The voters, the people of the country, they have to give an account for that too. But you see Philip Pierre, when you see God finish with Philip Pierre, because Pierre knows very well what he's doing. Pierre knows very well the dirty deeds of the St. Lucia Labour Party. Pierre knows all about the politics. Like he said to you all, and you know how to play the game. So in his mind, the people don't deserve anything. It's just playing the game of politics. And the people now are so ignorant. They are not opening their eyes to see what is taking place in this country. They are not. And I pray to God by the time they will want to open their eyes, it will not be too late for St. Lucia.
Thank you.
It will not be too late for St. Lucia. It will not be too late for our children. It will not be too late for the hospitals. It will not be too late. It's time St. Lucians wake up. We are on our way to the 40th century. We're going down that line. And St. Lucia is just cock block.
Okay. Thank you, my friend.
It's time the people of St. Lucia wake up.
Amen. I know she can't hear me, folks, but
It's time the people of St. Lucia wake up.
I can hear her, but she can't hear
You
me.
cannot love a political party
So
more
hold
than
calm with Pablo right
yourself
now,
and your
because
country.
she
That
can't hear me.
cannot happen. That cannot happen. Look at the level of corruption, and they keep on calling it alleged. This is not alleged.
Yeah.
This is corruption that we are seeing with Mr. Martinez and Kenneth Bridges. That has nothing to do with alleged. That is corruption. St. Lucians need to open their eyes just so an international journalist will stay and write about the hierarchy of a government. The ministers drag them in the gutter. Drag them. All countries seeing what you're doing. International, regional, local, seeing your names, your faces are plastered there. And you're saying alleged? That is corruption to the T. St. Lucians, ask yourselves, why is it that Ernest and Philippe cannot sue these fellas? They have the, how do you call it, CCJs already on their side, right? Ask yourself, these high-profile cases, why is it Philippe, Ernest and his merry gang cannot draw up a lawsuit against Kenneth Bridges and Martinez? Why is it? You cannot ask yourselves a question. These people, let's say Kenneth Bridges, if I was Philippe or Ernest and somebody's writing an articles like that daily, weekly, monthly on me, I would be looking for lawyers to sue them and for defamation of character. My name is dragging in the mud and nobody's saying nothing. Instead, you run and look for immunity to escape a case. Why? If you are innocent, why would you want to dodge the court? Go inside of there and listen to what the judge have to say. Listen to what the people have to say. If you are innocent, you walk out. St. Lucians cannot understand that. St. Lucians, you cannot understand that. So you're telling me again, you cannot understand the 2.5% health and security levy that Philippe have been lying to you all from day one about. You cannot understand that too. St. Lucians, you cannot understand that? Or you're just wicked? You're wicked to the sea and you're doing wickedness to your own self. You're doing wickedness to your own self. And I hope the election that is coming there, you don't sit yourselves down there and bite your fingers and say you're going back and vote for Labour. You cannot do that to the country. You cannot do that to your children. Your children today or tomorrow you'll die. You cannot never die happy. Because you close your eyes today or tomorrow. If you don't have Christ with you, And you perish there. Your children are left in that country, no preparation for them. Whether ministers and the family getting it good. When you tell me you have a young minister that just entered politics there, and in less than 3 years we are in the amount of land that he has acquired, and he's saying that people go and look for his business or put out his business, doesn't Kenson Kazimin know that he's a minister and the people, it's the people's right to find out about his business and to put it out? Mr. Shatner have been speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking that the Caribbean themselves get it right, because these Caribbean leaders, you put up away, get it right. Today now Trump ready to send everybody back in their homes. They help themselves going everywhere. They don't know what to do. But this man have been warning you all because he saw it. He understands the world. That's what God gave him the vision for. That's what God put the knowledge inside of him to understand and to come and tell you all about it. But no, you all have SLP there, making you all believe that he is Satan, but the Satan watching in your face. You all have Philippines that have been lying to you all for the past 28 years. And you all are seeing the lies. You all are helping him go through with the lies. But if you all know what is good for him and you all like him, you all will start doing what is right and tell him to pack up and leave. And it's time for you all to do that. Enough is enough in St. Lucia. Enough is enough. And I am calling on the UWP supporters, get your acts together, strap your waist, and do the work for the country. Do the work for the country. This country doesn't belong to Labour. We have more UWP supporters in this country than Labour. Don't never make Labour make you all believe they are in charge. It's you all, the people. If you all close your eyes on that general election that is about to hit St. Lucia there, that will be the death penalty for St. Lucia. And your children. Anyway, Pastor Garfield, I wish I could have hear you for us to talk, but
now, thank you, Allison. Now, you see, we'll have to disfellowship every one of these viewers who are on that show Give Me Trouble tonight. Come up at about PS. Because I'm trying to listen to Allison, and the more I read, what the fuck? No, I'm trying to listen to Allison because I am already aware that I can't, communicate with her. But I'm listening. But even say, tell her to text her and tell her to do that now. For sure. Sorry. You ought to be bad tonight, honestly. So fais moi mauvais. Oh, come Pablo. So football could live a party. I watch some movie. I'm trying to listen to Allison because I'm already aware we have an issue with but I'm reading the comments. Come on, and I have to balance, folks. I have to balance between listening to Allison because she's very serious and reading the comments and not laughing and having to come on, do Pablo. Sorry. Sorry. Folks, give me a minute. Come away. Somebody said they don't know what Allison drink. It's almost out there. Woo. Even a minute, honestly, stop when I recover. Hey, about Margot. You know what? Woo, my show me say, mama. Bad I show. But folks, I gone because I told you all I'm going to finish early. I told you all I'm going to finish early. So, somebody takes Allison and tell her half an hour. Take another hour. Anyway, folks, y'all going come on with no papa. But you all have a beautiful night. And we got to disfellowship some of you from the platform, so I'm over the hour. Anyway, y'all need to repent honestly. D, y'all can't do myself and Allison that. And look at that. It happened to be tonight. We had some good discussions, and Allison wanted to have an input, and she wanted a back and forth with us, and then the system, the thing, similar, folks. Whew, my show. Anyway, go and have a good night, folks. May God bless you, and may He keep you all. And to the person who said I changed a whole set of glasses tonight, enjoy your night. To believe one. Anyway, folks. It's that movie. All right, so have a beautiful night, folks, and y'all go to bed hour. Yeah. Hour. I'm confused. Right now I'm confused. I don't know how to shut off the system. But folks, y'all have a beautiful night, okay? Blessings. Love all of you and appreciate it. We had fun. It was fun. It was fun. Good night.